All right, hey guys. Namaste, blessed be, peace be with you. What's up? So, as the title says, I wanted to talk a little bit about the pros and cons or the positive and negative sides of the masculine and the feminine, and how, unless inside on the interior of all of us we have balanced male and female energies, we're still sort of out of balance, maybe. So that doesn't mean everybody becomes, androgynous bisexual or something, but I'm talking about if you're a man, be fully a man, but have your feminine qualities as well. So there's some sort of agreement and peace between that. And if you're a woman, being fully woman, allow that as well. This is not intended to be anti anybody really, but I'm just talking about the essences of the male female principle that exists throughout the whole cosmos. It's not just about this planet or this galaxy. It is a universal truth of male and female polarities, let's say, in order to create harmony and balance and unity between them, and male plus female equals child. So, that being the case, we got the yin yang and all these things. So I'm not going to tote too long on things everybody else knows, maybe, but I guess I just wanted to give my 2 cents out there. I'm seeing a lot of attacks in the last little while, maybe not up till this exact day, but maybe it's sort of dwindling a little bit. But I see this trend of the last year or two or so about toxic masculinity and all these things. First of all, there's nothing toxic about masculinity. What is toxic is machoism. That is a bad thing. Just like the bad side of the feminine, which I'll talk about after the male, is about being a brat and exaggerations of that type of, let's say, machoism, for lack of a term, on the feminine side of things. So, well, what does that mean? The positive side of masculine energies is about, yes, talking about a protector, a provider, wisdom, that which is ever available to assist, to be like a true father figure, even as God is. If we look at the Hindu school of philosophy and spirituality, which is very, 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 very epic. If you haven't read anything about Hinduism, please look into it. And I hate using the word isms, but Eastern philosophies of that particular variety are phenomenal. So they talk about, the Shiva principle as being, well, what is in the sky, what is in the heavens, and then the female aspect, the Shakti, is the created aspect. So what is outside of the eternal Father, let's say, is the eternal, equally eternal creation aspect. So this is about, structure and material. The very word matter and material comes from, mother. So in that, that type of Western school. So I don't want to be all over the place. Usually I'm long-winded and convoluted all over the place. I'll try to keep it a little concise. So you guys can add or subtract, agree or disagree, but I'm talking about people not feeling guilty for the good things. There seems to be an attack lately on trying to emasculate men, making them feel guilty for things they don't necessarily need to be. And same thing for the females in other or in similar regards. So I said to you guys about that, machoism. Machoism is brute force, is might is right, more so than right being right. It's killing, it's raping, it's doing all these things. It's trying to be a big, nothing wrong with bodybuilders. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. I'm just saying if your overall goal is to be some sort of, brute or something, then you've kind of more along the lines, in many cases perhaps, gone to the machoism aspect, which is kind of has to do with insecurity, kind of has to do with needing to prove something. So I'm not trying to make fun of anybody in particular, but I have nobody in mind when I'm saying these things in particular. But I'm saying, let's just say you're not quite sure of yourself and you need to prove that you're a man. Oh, I better be like a tough fighter and get in trouble with the law or be a big mean guy who bullies everybody around. Well, by doing that, the clear spiritual mathematics is that you haven't felt that it's inside secure. So this is what toxic masculinity is about. It's about machoism, viciousness, being rude, saying, oh, this is how it is and that's it. Like that kind of stuff could be considered toxic. I understand. There's a lot of attack on the patriarchy, quote unquote, of late. Oh, the patriarchy. Well, in many cases, yes, there's been privileged persons throughout the globe who have been leaders and such, even from the beginning up until now. And we cannot mistake divine laws and authorities and such things, things that God has placed, even people in positions that the Almighty has placed, and say, oh, it's all bad, or the patriarchy is all bad. Wisdom, intelligence, protection, providence is not toxic. So there are toxic things, of course. There is, like I said, it has dealing more with the brutish things. Well, what is the positive thing about being masculine? Well, like we said a moment ago, provision, protection, guidance, being fatherly. Doesn't matter if you're 16 years old or 60, you can be fatherly, you can be a man, meaning to say you do the right thing and you sort of weigh out the balance. What's good about the positive sides of masculinity, for sure, is that when a man is standing in his strength and has some sobriety of intelligence and such, well, can learn how to make the differences between things. Can sort of sit in a position of, well, even though I might feel this way and I want to act dramatic or erratic or this and that, I'm going to try to implement some self-control. So stoicism, not when it's exaggerated too far, but stoicism is a masculine, positive masculine trait, for example. So these are good things. These are holy things. These are universal and eternal, let's call them aspects or essences of what comes from the divine, what comes out from out there in the universe. The divine can also be clearly in nature. So if you guys want to add or subtract, I don't know. I'm just trying to make sort of more clear-cut thing here. So if we look at the female side, let's talk about toxic femininity. This is now going to start being maybe more public and written on forums and videos. I don't know, anywhere. It could be talking about the negative qualities of the female. The negative qualities of the female have to do with nagging. Oh, for example, constantly attacking the patriarchy. Not all of which is bad. Hello. So nagging, bitching, gossiping. Gossiping is a feminine, toxic feminine quality. And a man can do that. A man can have his ability to blah, 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 and spread rumors and gossip and, that kind of snickering kind of stuff. That's a dark female quality. So those are the kind of things. Perhaps it can be fairly said, maybe being sometimes afraid when danger comes. Oh my God, somebody save me, but I won't do the saving, but you better save me. That's kind of a toxic feminine quality. A mother or a matriarch, a strong woman, might stand up and fight back. There are many examples of very heroic women. Joan of Arc could be one, or I don't know, premiers or governors or mayors of different cities or whatever. Could be shining examples of a strong, good matriarch type. Now, yeah, physically, the guys can be stronger. So, yeah, it's not that women need to defend men physically from danger. It should be the other way around, because positive masculinity is protection, is one quality. But it doesn't mean a woman can't do it. So a woman can be a protector as well, right? So this is what I'm saying, trying to balance the inner harmony. You can be a fully, completely straight person, but you can have your own male-female or female-male energies balanced within. And that's what I'm trying to say in a sloppy kind of manner, I guess. I don't write down my my words before I talk on YouTube. It's just like the Lord said in the good book. Don't plan ahead of time what you're going to say. Just do it, and the Holy Spirit will give you in that hour what you should say. So that's what I'm attempting to do here. So yeah, think about that. Think about the negative aspects of the male and the positive of the male. Then let's think about the negative aspects of the female, which we just mentioned some of them. Add or subtract them. Now let's talk about the positive things of the female, which we just brushed upon briefly just a moment ago. So yeah, mothering, being soothing, being a nurturer, being a leader. Women are fantastic in schools, for example, especially with young children. Women have a lot more patience than most men do when it comes to young children. I'm a dad with 3 kids. I can say that's probably true. Although dad's usually the fun guy. Oh, it's the adventure guy. He's here. Let's do some, oh, Dad, let's play. Yeah, dads like to get down and dirty, but that doesn't mean women, the mothers don't. I'm just saying, So, so let's look at this. The positive qualities. Continue with the positive qualities of the woman. Well, she'll be a woman of grace. Look at the Virgin Mary, for example. Whether or not she was the ever virgin or not, it's not the point. But the woman of grace who was a virgin on the conception of the Christ. Or even Buddha's mom, who had a dream about him as a great elephant or carrying wisdom trails down the journey, for example. But anyways, it could be a modern day person. There are many examples of exceptional ladies in all manner of positions, to be doctors, lawyers, and all that, who are graceful and true, and they have seemed to have balanced their male female. So male female, yeah, while we have a body and have certain bits and pieces, but in the end, it is about balancing. A long time ago, I was going to say a little while ago, maybe it was closer to 10 years ago, there was and I don't want to name names or make fun of anybody, but there was a lady who lived in Canada where I live, but on the west side, and she was the angry lesbian type. And I'm not against lesbians. I'm not against people having, venting. But why I say that about her in particular is because she was always attacking men constantly, and it became very annoying for me and whoever else to just read her posts or the comments. I'm like, here we go again. And then somebody said to this person, oh, well, you don't have to worry about all that. You are your own twin flame. If you're still angry at men and you're a woman, then you haven't balanced your male-female, and you cannot be your own twin flame. If you're a man that hates women, you're misogynist and all this, oh, women are what a bunch of assholes, and might as well use them as, my little sex things, or however guys, or even violence, even horrible, all those machoism things that end up coming out. Well, you're not in a good position either, and you're not balanced. So you are not your own twin flame. It doesn't exist like that. Ultimately, out of the body, yes, out of the body, we are spirit, and we don't really have a form. We are a spark of light, the Atma. You guys can call it what you like. I don't know what's the best word to use in my Western audience here, but yeah. Yes, a soul spark. We are spirit. We are consciousness and emotion in one. And I forget the word in Prakrit, but it denoted the two is one. Mind and heart, one thing. So yeah, out of the body, that's what we are. In the body, it's your vehicle, it's your temple. So in the body, as it says in the good book, male and female, he created them. Yes, you need two to make one, and you need the balancing energies to make it work. When we're not in a planet like this necessarily, maybe we could do self-reproduction and all that. If you look at the ancient Greek tales and origin stories and such, when they say, yeah, originally people were in a state of an androgynous being and then was split in two and then came down to the earth. That also talks about the fall, maybe, when we separated from, or leaving heaven, leaving perfection, and coming down into these worlds to experience things. Whether we fell because we're fallen angels, or whether we wanted to come here to experience it, it's a choice. And God is like, well, be prepared for the long, weird story you're about to get. It's going to be a long run. But when you're out of it, you'll be that much more awake, maybe, and appreciative. Anyway, I'm not trying to make this all about existential, but it is. It's all included in that. So the Shiva and the Shakti, the balance. So when there is a balance of positive female and positive male attributes within you, whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter, then you will know the quality of it, because it'll be known by your speech and your actions and your attitude, your aura, the way that you deal with people, the way that you deal with yourself. So I guess, especially when young minds receive opinions, or they're more susceptible maybe to being sort of persuaded to think or feel a certain way. That's why a lot of the times the media is very happy to attack teenagers and young persons. So before they have maybe the quality of wisdom, they might be more susceptible to being swayed by whatever way the wind wants to push them. So they'll be quick to hate and this and that. Now, of course, those evil aspects in the world that are toxic masculine and toxic feminine, men are usually worse to men, and women are usually worse to themselves, women worse to women. And you better, do this and have this to be cool and to fit in. But now you have all these trends recently. That's what I'm trying to say. And yeah, these statements that are made and things that are spread online and whatever in the community. And whether or not we talk about it out loud, it's still there. So all I'm trying to say with this is, if you balance those energies, those qualities inside of you, then you'll be known by the quality, or the tree is known by the fruit, yeah? The quality of how you interact with other people. So if you're balanced inside, you won't have hatred towards one or the other. You can call a wrong thing wrong, but you're not going to exaggerate. You're not going to necessarily go out of your way to, put the blame or the onus on everybody else, or put it on the opposite sex, or put it on this race who did that and that, and all these kind of things. It's like what I was saying in some of the Druid teachings, when they talked about, don't complain about yesterday's weather, it's already gone. Look to the situation right now. And yeah, there's still some clouds and some raindrops falling, but there's also a beautiful sunny ray ahead and a rainbow. So I'm not sure. I don't want to make the video too long, long-winded, talking for 20, 30 minutes or something. I'll keep this one a little short. But yeah, that's what I want to say about that. Recognize what is good and what is bad, but don't put all the negative things into, a certain fragment of your mind and then attack the totality of somebody or something based on a few negative qualities. Like, for example, people could say they hate the churches. That doesn't mean Jesus is bad, but yeah, the churches have fallen into disarray. Certainly they did. And they were criticized at the very beginning for going off the path. So don't hate the totality of something just based upon a few negative things. I would not like to see any man or woman despise the opposite sex, or themselves, or all these racism things and sexism things and all this. It's pretty much based on maybe a pinch of personal experience. Maybe it's influenced onto us, like thrown at you, suggestive kind of things, like we said earlier about trying to persuade people to following a certain thing. Don't buy into it. Clear, go deep, go to the ancient teachings of the mystics of the past, the people that understood these things, or just use your own logic and balanced heart to see things for what they are, and not just bitch at a smoke screen or something. Part of my language. So yeah, I want to make mention of that. I hope I did the topic justice in a few short minutes, and yeah, wishing you guys the best. Don't let somebody else's baggage and burdens become your own. And sometimes, maybe we have to speak up and correct somebody when they're going a little bit off on a tangent and exaggerating things. We need balance, not constant strife. The world seems to thrive on strife and drama, but at the same time, it's giving us all the nasty headache and kind of boring and redundant at this point. All right. Cheers, guys. Much love. Be yourself, be strong, be true, and allow others to be themselves, But if you see a mischievous squeaking like grandma worm tongue, exercise that shite, right? Okay. Take care, guys. Talk to you soon.